Hi, my name is Quynh Anh, a freshman at Florida State University. Welcome to my mind map. Let me show you how I discovered Vietnamese icons' values and how this value resonates with mine. Let's start with Vietnamese icon and of course Isaac's. Here are the four fundamental principles known together as Isaac's Way. First, Isaac envisions peace and fulfillment of human potentials. Second, Isaac impacts by inspiring leadership in youngsters. Third, Isaac's experience provides leadership opportunities, international internships, and a global learning environment. And fourth, Isaac instills in members core values of excellence and ethics. I find these four principles particularly crucial because they are reflected in Vietnam Youth Icon. First, Vietnam Youth Icon discusses Vietnam's issues and envisions the ideal image of the new generations of Vietnam's youth. Second, Vietnam Youth Icon inspires leadership and commitment to the community in its attendees. Third, Vietnam Youth Icon provides invaluable opportunities. As you see, these opportunities include 1. The opportunity to lead, presentation, teamwork, projects, or even stage performances will help. 2. This opportunity to interact with foreign interns, listen to the stories, and share our own stories. 3. It's an opportunity to learn and to connect, not only from interns but also other attenders, the organizing team of course, and guest speaker. And obviously, Vietnam Youth Icon spreads out Isaac's values, and that's the reason why we see the Isaac's logo on the poster. To be specific, I believe that Vietnam Youth Icon inspires Isaac's way in its attendees, both spiritually and practically. Spiritually, attendees grow by assimilating Isaac's visions and values. Practically, attendees make changes by utilizing Isaac's opportunities, they explore issues, they improve their skill, and they network for cooperation in their future projects. And in this way, Vietnam Youth Icon is a lighthouse that guides youngsters, turning each of them into a leader, another lighthouse that guides others in their own community. Each project initiated by Vietnam Youth Icon is also a lighthouse that opens new ventures for the community. So with this meaning of Isaac's and Vietnam Youth Icon's logos in mind, I better understand Vietnam Youth Icon's poster. And here it is. I imagine that each person is a cone created by layers of colored papers. Each layer is one experience alike, and the more colors one has, the higher he grows mentally and intellectually. These paper layers are extracted from single colored polyhedra on the poster. And for me, the polyhedra stand for events and experiences that many people share, the events like Vietnam Youth Icon. Obviously, this event cannot automatically transform individuals. The attendants themselves have to actively extract colors from these polyhedra to build up their own corns. For me, these corns also resemble pencil heads. Each person contributes his own color to the world. In certain moments, they may share the same color, the same vision, the same experience, the same determination to change something, and together they cooperate to create big changes for the world towards the envision. So, ultimately, Vietnam Youth Icon builds up currents and creates connection among pencils. It builds young leaders, and unites them under the meaningful vision by exposing youngsters to the world, waking them up so they take their responsibility for themselves, for the world, so they realize the youth is the world. So, I have done with Vietnam Youth Icon. Let me invite you to my corner, my concern, my ambition, my strengths and weaknesses. There is a question about an issue in Vietnam youth confront. I would like to begin with my own story. During middle school, I strove painstakingly for good marks. I was an industrial student and I believed that obviously I loved learning. However, when the superficial interest in good marks faded as I entered high school, I realized I never really cared about what I learned before. I just learned for good marks. And now, when I cared, as so many questions pop up. I ask myself, why does history teach me about the current Vietnam? What is the meaning of learning physics? What is the purpose of reciting model answers to pass a literature exam? What is the current curriculum bring beyond the memory of loss of information? I ask myself whether I'm learning or not, and why I have to learn by hard things that don't promise much application in my life later, and things that I would have soon forget. No one could answer satisfactorily my questions because everyone, the teachers, my friends, parents, the government, and the experts are all struggling with the very same thing, the so-called national education crisis. So now you know it. The issue of Vietnam's youth that I'm concerned about is exactly this education crisis. And the more I know about this crisis, the more I was horrified. Despite the investment of 200% in the GDP into education, despite all the reforms in exams, textbooks, facilities, rules, the crisis prolongs. The failure is not just in teaching quality, but also in morals. Vietnam's education has many problems, from primary school to university and higher. We have fallen long behind even countries in the Southeast Asia. This problem is not just about the management of physical resources, but more about the inherent philosophy. When we compare the education philosophy of Vietnam's current curriculum with whether the Eastern or the Western standard, we see many problems. This issue is even more crucial because it is not only about each individual's pursuit of knowledge. It's even not just about the education field, but it's also about social behavior, culture, economy, and even national security. The crisis in the fate of youngsters, the ugly image of Vietnam's people in the eyes of foreign friends, the stagnant economy, and the inferior position in the international relations. We are weak and ill-cultured because we are not well educated, not enough. So, what are the solutions for the crisis? In my opinion, the question of an ideal education philosophy is shared by many countries in the world, not just Vietnam. Even the education system of America, France, Finland have serious problems. Therefore, we must not hastily copycat the model of any countries. Nor should we expect a policy that serves as the panacea for this crisis. We cannot show the problem instantly, but there are things that everyone can do about this crisis. Fundamentally, the role belongs to the government, which is responsible for initiating real reforms and changes. First, we need a reform in the education system. I approve the opinion of Vice Professor Hoàng Xuân Han that high school should be divided into 3 branches: the school for good students who want to enter university, the schools for simple skills jobs, and school for high skill jobs. This division will solve the current shortage of workers and the excess of teachers. Second, we need a reform in the curriculum. The current requirement of 10 subjects per semester is just overwhelming. We had better study each subject intensively only in certain semesters, like in the IB or in A-level curriculum. The third reform is in equality. The government should pay more attention to the 70% of the students' population, the students in the countryside, many which each parent only barely over 500,000 dong per month, which are aimed to attain compulsory and completely free high school education. And finally, we need a reform, but we have to correct the opinions of all people in the societies. It is a common issue, not just from the experts, not just from the government officers, but from the students themselves. Let us learn from this case in Ho Chi Minh City. And besides the role of the government, the social activists, entrepreneurs, and journalists must also take actions. Activists should initiate academics, clubs, movements, and processes like this. Entrepreneurs should reinforce R&D involvement and support for talents. And journalists have a very powerful impact with their articles and letters. The whole society should participate in solving the current education crisis. However, those who need most urgent essence are teachers and students themselves. Every teacher can learn to be creative and conscientious, and every student can take full responsibility for his own education by utilizing various online and offline sources. Now back to my story. After a period of frustration with the national education crisis, I realized exactly the aforementioned things. The role of different groups of people in this crisis, the role of myself. I realized I have to take actions, not complain. I read books, I discuss with friends and teachers about academic issues I care. I form clubs, I take online courses, I volunteer. I understand that even though the current curriculum has several disadvantages, I can still learn in the right way if I want. This crisis is the opportunity for me and other youngsters to grow independent, to question our values, and to take responsibility for our country. I also realize that thanks to my reflections and actions regarding this education crisis, I have known more about myself, my strengths and my weaknesses. And here are my strengths first. The first strength is that I love living with others. My community responsibility guides my goals and shapes my personality. My ultimate desire is to contribute to the society, and my ultimate interest is to connect people together. Second, I love learning about possibilities of the outer and the inner world. I discover potentials of myself by setting ambitious goals and challenging myself. I discover potentials of life by constant learning, making mistakes and correcting them. In this way, I stay positive all the time. And finally, my third strength is that I love leading by inspiring my visions among others and connecting them for impactful actions. I believe that leading comes naturally when one has found his field of interest and strength. However, a leader must constantly cultivate necessary interpersonal and organizational skills. As a student leader in my school and province, a freelancer for some themed newspapers, the founder of several volunteer projects and the media club, I have found that I'm passionate about journalism, education, and volunteerism, and I aim to develop my leading skill in these fields. So, the aforementioned strengths are my pride, and understanding this strength helps me utilize opportunities as the non-youth icon. How I will utilize these opportunities, let's discover. First, because I love living with others, so I can explore from the foreign interests. I can reinforce my commitment to the community. Second, because I love learning about possibilities of myself and of the world, I can really thrive in the active learning environment of the non-youth icon, learn from other interns, other members, the guest speakers, and learn from myself through the challenges. And third, because I love leading by inspiring and connecting others, I will treasure the leadership opportunities at the non-youth icon that will help me cultivate my skills. So now you have known my strengths, let me introduce my weaknesses. I have three important weaknesses. First, sometimes I over-idealistic and underestimate difficulties. Second, sometimes I am over-curious and take risks, become too aggressive sometimes to answer my questions. And third, sometimes I'm just over-responsible. I cannot delegate, I cannot prioritize things, and I just struggle with overwhelming workload. And I believe that the non-youth icon can help me correct these weaknesses because I'm idealistic. The discussions of current issues will keep me adequately informed of their importance and redefine my future ambition. Because sometimes I'm always curious their challenges and their historic thoughts with people very different from me in Vietnam Dual Icon will satisfy my questions. Because sometimes I'm over responsible and sometimes I cannot find my partners, Vietnam Dual Icon can provide an invaluable opportunities for me to find their partners for my future projects. So, in short, my values resonate with Vietnam Youth Icon spirit, and my weaknesses will be corrected at Vietnam Youth Icon. And these are the reasons why I choose Vietnam Youth Icon. That's how I will contribute to Vietnam Youth Icon and feel Vietnam Youth Icon contributed to my personal development. Thank you for your attention. And my name is Quynh Anh, a freshman at Foreign Trade University. I hope to see you again.